Hey Bobcats, and this is our first ever episode of Beyond the Creek.
Beyond the Creek airs once a month and aims to provide you with in-depth, meaningful, and impactful stories in our community.
It goes broader than just our normal shows.
Coming up, we have a package on how robots are connecting people across the globe and how water guns have become a symbol of protest.
Plus, we have a closer look at a much debated topic and wrapping the show up with how the public has been helping solve mysterious cases.
I'm Makena Coleman.
And I'm Luke Miller, and Beyond the Creek starts now. This summer, we saw robotics teams from all around the world come together with Sage Creek's own, Crowdsourcing, to compete in a robotics competition called the First Tech Challenge.
The First Tech Challenge highlights students' robotic talents and brings together people from all around the world.
Sending off to Sunil to learn more about this important event.
Over the summer, the First Tech Challenge hosted multiple international robotics tournaments where teams gathered to meet and compete.
Hi, I'm Kieran. I'm the captain of Crowforce, the robotics team here at Sage Creek High School. We had the pleasure this summer of competing in an international competition in Indiana where we were able to connect with many different people all over the world, from Kazakhstan, Romania, India, Korea, Thailand. It was an amazing experience getting to meet all these different people and work with them. And it was also a really fun way to cap off a super successful season for us.
Teams from several continents described their experience at one of these competitions.
So this year, we also had the pleasure of competing in RTI, the Robotics Tech Invitational in Los Angeles. And there, we were able to align with the team that came all the way from Romania, which was super fun, getting to work with people and getting to talk to them about what it's like in Romania and how their team operates and what they do. And we were able to win the championship with them as our alliance partner, which was an amazing experience.
Hi, my name is Alexia. I'm from team 19104 Cyberpunk Robotics from Romania. This experience has been great. We've traveled a long way to get here, but it's just amazing. LA is just an amazing place to be and to travel, and also to be at this competition is an amazing opportunity for us. This is just like the American dream, and we've always dreamed to get here.
Our team's name is Zerce, and we're originated from Almaty in Kazakhstan. Overall, the experience is really nice since we get to share our nationality and the things that we have in our country. FTC is a thing that unites the world with the challenging things, also the networking, the outreach we do.
First challenge is really like mind-changing. It changes your whole world and sometimes mindset.
The experience proved to be insightful for all who participated.
I'm really glad that I have this chance of seeing the world around. Here I am in the United States. I never thought that I would ever be a robot technician and also be here in California.
How to be more respectful to one another, how to learn about other cultures, and just how to love each other as humans.
I think when we live in the US, we live in a bubble where we only see perspectives from where we live. These international tournaments give us a chance to meet so many new and exciting and different people from all over the globe. And I think this is what the true beauty of FTC is. Ahead of the CADing and coding and all of that, I think getting to meet all these different people and work with them and learn their stories and their cultures makes the experience all the better.
This has been Sunil Musson reporting for The Sage.
Hey Makena, so did you travel out of the country this summer?
No, I didn't get a chance. Did you?
Yeah, I, as well as numerous tourists, traveled all across the globe. This influx of tourism has led to anti-tourism protests spanning across Europe.
Can't wait to hear about what you learned, Luke.
Countless tourists travel across the globe each year, seeking fresh sights and new cultures. In select cities, large tourist waves are causing real strain on locals' day-to-day life. Barcelona is a striking example. With nearly 15 million tourists visiting a city of just 1.6, locals are dealing with rising rents, overcrowded streets, and rapid changes to their neighborhoods. In response, locals have grown increasingly frustrated. Some have taken to the streets with water guns, usually seen as a playful tool, using them instead as a form of protest to send a clear message to tourists.
So these protests against tourism was mainly happening because of the prices on rent Now if you want to rent a flat, the price it would be like 1,500. But many people here, they don't even have these salaries, and they're not capable of affording to rent a flat. Actually, the age when people leave the house of their parents is like 32, 33 years. So this is the main cause of this, but also the city of Barcelona is kind of losing its identity. It's true that local people find it difficult to emancipate from their homes because the rent is very high, because a lot of people rent their homes to the tourists, and they rent just a tiny room for 500 euros, and it's very expensive for us, and we can't afford it. They think that because of tourism, the prices went very high. And also, some of them are very disrespectful.
Opinions on the issue vary. Some see tourism as a benefit, while others feel it's taking a toll.
So some people, they see it as a problem. Of course, many people, they work in tourism, they involved in this, and without tourism, they will have no work. But there should be some regulations.
As long as they respect your culture and your ways of living, it's nice. But if they don't, if you want to go party, go to your phone. Barcelona's struggle shows a global challenge: how to support tourism without displacing the people and culture that define a place. Behind every popular destination, there's a real community feeling the impact. Reporting for The Sage, I'm Luke Miller.
Thanks for the information, Luke.
On another note, we have a deep dive into crowdsourcing's role in solving crime.
Sending it off to Skylar to learn more about it.
It starts with a single frame, a shadow in the background, a name on a file, a detail missed for decades, and suddenly, millions of people are pressing pause, rewinding, and sharing their theories with the world. In the streaming era, anyone with Wi-Fi can become an investigator, and sometimes it works. Documentaries have become catalysts for massive online investigations. A 2024 True Crime Media survey found that 67% of viewers discuss documentary content online, and nearly 1 in 5 say they've shared potential evidence or leads after watching. The impact is measurable. After the 2019 Netflix series Don't Mess with Cats, tips from online sleuths directly aided authorities in identifying the suspect, a case study now cited in law enforcement training. Law enforcement agencies report that some high-profile docs trigger spikes of up to 300% in tip line activity within days of the release. In certain cases, like The Keepers, leads from the public led to entirely new avenues of investigation. But not all crowdsourced input is useful. An NYU Journalism Lab study found that over 80% of tips submitted via social media after documentary release were unverifiable or unrelated, creating a heavy fact-checking burden for journalists and investigators alike. For newsrooms, documentaries have become both a source and a filter, compressing years of case files into watchable hours, then unleashing a wave of citizen analysis. The challenge is turning that wave into reliable, actionable information.
In the age of streaming, a documentary is rarely the final word. It's the first spark. From the editing room to your social media feed, stories can take on a new life, gaining leads, attention, and sometimes controversy. The challenge for us journalists, and for all of us really, is to separate fact from fascination. For The Sage News, this has been Skylar Roy reporting.
Thank you, Skylar, for covering such an interesting topic. Crowdsourcing really speaks to the controversy going on in the news. Jack is here to take us through one of the most pressing questions of all. Should we remove the Electoral College?
Here's Jack for more.
Well, another election season has passed. Oh, hey, did you know that your vote as a California resident is roughly 2.5 times weaker than the vote of a Wyoming resident? Depending on what state you live in, your vote can be worth more or less. Now, why is this? The culprit is the Electoral College. Real quick, what is the Electoral College? The Electoral College is the system by which our president is elected. Most democracies use a popular vote, which means that everyone votes on a leader, and whoever gets the most votes becomes the leader. America, however, decided to be special. In America, each state gets a certain number of electoral votes equal to the number of representatives they have in Congress. A president needs a majority of these electoral votes to become the president. When the time comes to vote on a president, we, instead of voting directly on the president, vote for electors for a state that will vote on the president. This is skipping over some steps, and this is a simplification, but each state will get a Democratic and Republican elector. Whoever gets a majority vote from their state gets to put all the state's electoral votes to the Democratic or Republican presidential candidate. Did that seem complicated? Probably because it is. So back to what I said at the beginning of this. How can someone's vote be worth more or less? Well, there will always be a maximum of 538 total electoral votes, and each state gets a minimum of 3. Additional votes are given to states with larger populations. So how does this change the weight of votes? California has a population of 39.5 million and has 54 electoral votes. Wyoming has a population of 500,000 and has 3 electoral votes. Let's divide both numbers. These are the average number of votes it would take to earn an electoral vote in each state. Yeah, big difference. In an ideal democracy, at least to me, all votes should hold equal weight. Our current system is not that. Look, I'm from Southern California, and thus my opinion on this will be biased. So let's hear from some people from around America. The opinions of these interviewees do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the state. Additionally, I'll provide the general political leaning of the state, but that is not necessarily the opinion of the interviewee. Alright, first up, the most recent addition to the swing state roster, Arizona.
It really just depends on who gets appointed into it, but the people of the state don't actually get a say in who is voting on behalf of their electoral college. So I think that's the biggest problem with it.
Next up, let's go up to Northern California.
Electoral college, from what I've gathered, it seems that it doesn't really represent like what the people think. Like you have the popular vote, and that kind of seems like just kind of a poll that doesn't really go towards the actual presidency.
Lastly, let's go to the opposite side of the country, New Jersey.
People say that the Electoral College is meant to balance the power of big and small states, but it doesn't do that. It just gives all the power to swing states.
Look, I know what you're thinking. You're asking, why are we talking about this now? The presidential election happened last year. The point I'm making is that the Electoral College is flawed, regardless of who it benefits. There needs to be a push to abolish the Electoral College. And now that we are out of a presidential election, this push would be tied to neither names nor parties. The Electoral College is a flawed part of our government and is a nonpartisan issue. Change is necessary for America. With camera operator Luke Miller, this has been Jack Spark, reporting for The Sage.
Thanks, Jack, for that insightful story.
That brings us to the end of our debut show.
Come back on September 26th to watch our next episode of Beyond the Creek.
Make sure to check out thesagenews.com for all our content.
And follow The Sage on social media at The Sage Publication. This has been Luke
and Makena reporting Beyond the Creek.